Hello and welcome back. I hope you can hear me. Am I live? Yes, I am. So, where were we? Welcome back. Uh, Quick revision. We are trying to create a punch search, but the idea is not about the project. The idea is how we understand Redux works. Can hear. Good. So, what we want to do now is let's see quickly what we have done till now is. Oh, this is too small. What we have done till now is we have a pun store which has pun list already. Then we create that store. We have defined an action type, remove pun, and we are firing. We were initially firing it from here, but we thought no, that's not good. So we started firing it from the UI. And this is what happens. This is where we were in the last video. That this is how it works. So you have view to action updates the store, context is updated, context is this basically comes to app via context, and then you go to new props, view is updated, and this is happens. So I am just cleaning up the code a little bit. You can also do that, removing things which we don't need so that we don't have dead code here and there, and then we'll start the next thing. So the homework was to write mapDispatchToProps. Um, this is basically thinking about an event talking about a feature in Redux. So maybe I should take this up from here, put it in README. This is concepts. Yeah, let it be here. This looks better. Anybody did the homework? No one did it. I have to do your homework as well. Okay, so this is what it is, right? So if you console this, so you remove the first one, removed. If you click it again, nothing will happen because there's only one remove pun with ID 1, right? So map dispatch to props is nothing but, as we saw recently, it's just a function which returns another function. Um, is this the one we were looking at? Basic tutorial, usage with React. Yes. So map dispatch to props. By the way, if you need this again, this is here. This is here. In case you are new to this one, you're coming for the first time, you're starting from this video, there are 2 previous videos which you should watch. So map dispatch to props is nothing but, what was I saying, is nothing but a function. Okay, and what that function does is it gets a dispatch and it returns an object that will be given to your component as a prop. So see, understanding is the key. So right now you are getting dispatch as a component, as a prop, right? We don't want dispatch as a prop, we want exact function, this remove pun function as a prop. Okay, so see what they are doing. They make a function which names on to do click and then toggle to do. So what we want to do is something similar. We want a function. Okay, so what we want is, we want say something like this: function on button click, because this is a button, or you can say on remove button click. This function will get nothing. This function will get nothing. It will get ID. it will get ID, as in the pun ID. And we are not able to send links. How is it? If you are not able to send links, what you can do is you can comment on the previous video. Let me see. Yes, can you comment on the previous video wherein you were supposed to put the homework but nobody put the homework here? So put your homework in comments. Also check for your peers, or check not for your, check your peers submission. So you can put a comment here. Here you go. Put your comments. Okay, cool. What was I saying? So what do we want to do? Basically, for people who haven't done the homework, what we want to do is on remove button click this function will get the dispatch. So what we want to do is on remove we want to do exactly this, right? We want to do this. So we want to do this. We can copy this, we can paste it here. What will it say? It will say the dispatch is not defined. Okay, fair error. If something is not defined, it will give an error. Dispatch is not defined, right? So if you see here, dispatch is defined here because mapDispatchToProps takes a callback. So if you are defining something like that, what you can do is const mapDispatchToProps equals. Now this, when you call this is basically a callback function, and the callback, and what you have to return here is an object. So mapDispatchToProps return an object. What do you want? You want on remove button click, and you want to give that function ka definition. Now here this is given like this. You can also just give the name and it would work. Anyway, so pun ID, and this is your function. So if you copy it here, the same thing, just that now it will not give that problem. So this is what was there to make you understand what this function is. It says mapDispatchToProps is not being used, right? Now you just pass it here. So before we pass it here, I want to show this to you. If you want to see what props are coming, you can also name it like this, or to be little right, say other props, and then you can see other props, and you can say other props. Okay, now it says dispatch is not defined. Why? Because it's gone from Redux. Don't worry about it, we don't need it. So mapDispatchToProps. Now Tanmay, hi Tanmay. mapDispatchToProps. So now you have this here, and do you see the other props? Thank you, Tanmay. Do you see the other props? Now other props has on remove button click. Just before this it was not there. Now it has on button click. Where is that on remove button click coming from? From here, this object, the object which we are returning from mapDispatchToProps. Both these objects are being passed as a prop. Okay, suppose, just to show this to you, if I was passing, say, something is nothing, it would come here something as nothing, right? The other props, the prop which we are not using. So it flattens both the objects and then pass it as a prop. Hope it makes sense. Suppose if I was passing here in this I was passing something another A42, it will come as A42 here, right? So very simple, just flattening and passing it and doing nothing else. Just to make this clear, this is what it is. Now we don't need all of this. We don't need this. We have this as props, right? We just saw that this is there as prop, so we can say on remove button click, and on click we can say on remove button click, and other props is not defined now, so we remove it, and this is how it looks. Come to Papa. What happened? Remove the first one. See, same thing happening. Now it's more Redux way and nothing else. So we remove this, we remove all of this. Unnecessary console logs, keep on clearing, and it's done. So this is what mapDispatchToProps does, nothing else. Just takes a function, calls a dispatch, same thing which we were doing here. But if you do it slowly, if you do it like this, you will understand it better. Like I understood it right now. Length of pun list is 2. Remove the first one, goes away. So here is the thing, right? We wanted to do search, but we are doing remove. So now what we need to do is search, and we'll do that part, no problem. To do search, now when we were doing React, just the React part, if you have to do something around the state, all the state needs to be in one, right? It cannot be in two different components, and otherwise you have to pass it as props. So what you need to appreciate here is we can make something like, no, let it be here, and what we'll do is all of this we'll keep it here. Let's remove this, and then we take all of this one list. Ooh, okay. Make a new file. So now we'll start making it a little bit better. We'll make components, and inside components I'll have, sorry, why is it not getting create file? Inside components there will be a pun list, punlist.js, maybe cancel, maybe name it punlist.jsx, put it here. This will give errors, this will say not used, so we'll say export, and now it will say other errors. So you can clean it like this, which is quite simple. Whatever is not defined, just take it and put it there. No error here. Pun list enhance is not defined in the other one, so what do? You go to app.js and you import pun list enhanced from components / pun list. Should I name it pun list enhanced? I don't know. Let it be for now. So now module not find, cannot find remove pun relative to this. Yes, that's the problem here. So let me clean this up a little bit as well. Go to source, create a new directory, name it actions. Take this, put it inside actions. Very nice. Now go to pun list, say remove pun from /actions, and it's here now. To source index.js, but who wants to have, here in index.js, this is all code cleanup which you have to do. Remove pun is src slash no sorry src slash actions slash remove one. React is not defined. One list doesn't have React defined. Yes, very nice. Because this is React, you should have React here and it's here. Phew, done. So questions which come to me often is whether we should make the folder structure upfront and then do things, or whether we should do it like this. The answer is it depends on you, how you want to do it. Someone put homework. No, see only 1-2 comments. I don't see the homework anyway. So the answer is that you can do it the way you want. There is no rule, but once the file starts growing long, then you would want to remove it to different files. And like this has become huge. So what do we want to do? We want to create another folder called reducer, and inside reducer we would call name it salt, name it filter reducer, maybe little rusty here. So now if you go to index.js, this is your reducer function, which we started very, like, you can always say that, hey, extract to a function in module scope. This is your filter reducer. Now where is filter reducer? It's here. You can take it out, put it in filter reducer to export. You need the pun list and the pun store and this entire thing. So what do? You will take this out, put it here. Now this is very boring. This is like watching. This might be a lot of. See, this is wrong. I should do this state.punList. This was wrong here. Remove pun, quick fix. This is bad. So if you want whatever is not defined, you want this, export, import, remove pun from actions, remove pun. Okay, export, export const pun store or machine store to be here, const store pun store. Actually we can have initial value, initial store.js, which can do this, or we can just export from here, which is fine for now. We'll do it later. So pun store, if you want to do, you do export pun store. This is not useful anymore, so it goes away. Import pun store from reducer slash filter reducer. Also we want filter reducer here. Now we have everything. Not find actions, remove. It will come, don't worry. Export, import, remove pun from here. It's not coming actions. Remove pun next. Pun. Ha! See, took like 10 minutes just to code. I love your videos. Did comment the homework. So now this is how everything is. You have actions, you have reducers, you have main file which has nothing but the store, This is again concept, so we will put it here. In your learning, it's okay to make it dirty. The Redux to Redux update cycle. Now this is fine. Index.js, everything's clean, beautiful. Looks good. Close. All closed. What to do next? So this, remove the first one, it still removes the first one, so things work. What we want now is we want upon search here, we don't want the button, right? So first thing is we don't want this button here. We don't want this button. What we want is a filter. Button was just to show you how things work. So suppose we want a filter. What we can do is we can say pun filter, or just filter, or let's name it pun filter. It's okay. JSX import React from React function pun filter internal return what? Return input export pun filter internal import connect from React Redux. We don't want anything right now, so what we want is export const pun filter equals connect this is what we want, and we want it here on top of this pun filter. Yes, so this is here. Now what we don't want is, we don't want this button, pun list ka button. So I'm going to remove this for now. Questions? No. So if we type something here, say, where did the button? If you type something here, it should, first thing it should do is it should show that what I'm typing. Okay, so we'll again go very basic and then we'll start doing things. So right now it's just an input element, it does nothing. So if we do something, say on change equals input target, input element dot target, element target. See, this is what I always forget. What do you get? Event. Yes. And inside event, if you do console dot log event dot target, then do you start getting, no, event dot target dot value. Then if you do tane, you would see tane, right? Cool. So this is how input works. Now what do we want? We don't want it to be console logged here, right? We want it to work on this data structure, right? We want it to be filter. What is dispatch? Prasanna, you should watch the second video. Dispatch is nothing but a way to talk to an action. A way to send an action to, what is dispatch? Dispatch is, you give it an action, it will send it to store. You should watch it. In the second video I have explained it really well. I hope so. If you watched it in the first video, I don't know. I mean, if you haven't watched it, then I'm not sure. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to do console.log target.value. Now good thing is, see, I'll show you something. So you have dispatch here right now because you did connect, right? So you will have dispatch here, and what you can do is you can still say dispatch, and you can say type remove tha kya? What was it? Type remove pun, remove pun. I don't want, because I want to clean this. I'm just pun id. Was it pun id? Pun dot pun id. Pun id, yes. Pun id as 1. If you do this, say if you do this, what will happen is the moment you type a dispatch, sorry, if you do this, the moment you type something, the first one will go away. See what is happening? Think about it. What is happening? The moment you type something goes away. Why? Because what we have done is, on change of an input element, we are dispatching a type which is remove pun id with 1, right? And we don't want this. We don't want this. I'm just telling you how you can, wire the entire thing. All you have to think is, what will be the event? Again, let me do that revision. Oh, sorry. Come on. What you have to think is, thinking about a feature is how the event will happen. Thinking about, so I had this thing, when I was teaching someone, I came up with this, is when you're thinking about it, what you have to think about is visor, which is view is there, and then the user interacts with it, which then updates the state, right? And then it goes and update, there is a reaction to it. So E is like silent. So what you do is you view, then you interact, then it updates the state, and then react will react on it. So that is called the reaction to it. So you have to think it like this. What's happening here is, hey something. What's happening here is, you have a view, you have an event, right? The interaction is there. The event dispatches something which changes the state, and then there is a reaction, right? But we don't want this reaction. We want a different reaction. What reaction do we want? We want something called filter pun, and in the pun id, instead of pun id, what we would say is filter text, and the filter text is nothing but event dot target dot value, right? Or what you can do is you can say const value equals event dot target. Very nice. Okay, now if you type something a b c d e f g, nothing is happening. Why? Because when you are dispatching an action, this is an action, basically an action, the reducer doesn't know how to react, but the reducer is getting this action, by the way. And let me tell you this, every time you type something, const here, console log action is coming, action, just that the reducer doesn't know what to do, right? So this is init action, then you type a, see, action is coming, the type is filter pun, and the filter text is a. That's how we get a mini search. Yes sir, that's how we get a mini search. Type filter pun and filter text a. But since the type is filter pun, there is nothing we have written for filter pun, and that's why it's not coming. So what do? You say if action dot type equals filter pun. It says, oh my god, filter pun is not defined. So we'll clean this up, don't worry about it. We'll clean this up. This is not the best practice. This is time to understand. What do we want? We want the same thing. We want the state as is, nothing else. But in the pun list, what we want to do is state.punList.filter. Now pay attention, okay? Now pay attention. So you will get a pun, right? And what do you want? You want those puns to be returned, which contains, pun.pun to be returned, which contains the string. What string? Tell me what string? This string, filter text. Where is the filter text string? It's inside the action. So it's action.filter text. And this should return. That's why it was giving error here. Now, if you can't react, maybe just view it. If you type R, is not a function. Why? Because it's a string. Why includes? Is it includes? I don't know. Includes. So now when you type something, problem is there. It's not resetting. But now if you type react, see, only one has react and reset is not happening. We'll fix that. Or don't believe in JS, so only this is there. So your filter is working very nicely. You have a mini UI search, you have a mini search which is working. Problem is when you're going back, it's not resetting it. Why? Because we are removing the values which should be there, the initial values are getting removed basically from the pun list itself. So when it goes back, there is no filter. And I think there will be one more problem here. Suppose you type react, type react A, everything goes away because there's nothing, and then it doesn't come back. So for now, what we'll do is we'll put a reset here. But do you know what you understood what's happening? This action is coming, and then you have to handle each and every action inside the reducer. That's the idea. Now if you see this code, writing if is fine, but it's just that your code will become like a lot of ifs and a lot of, every time you have to repeat this action type equals this, action type equals this, like this. So what people generally do is they do a switch on this. So what they do is they do switch, and I don't remember how to write switch. I think this is how you write switch. How do you write switch these days? So this is what is problem with me. I forget switch JavaScript. Forget the way. Okay, expression and case and all. Okay, cool. So this is how you write switch. So you can just, instead of doing switch, should have taken leave today. Harshit, where would you take leave from? So you need to take switch on action.type, and then all you have to do is say case remove pun, right? And inside this you do this command C, command V. Why is this giving here? Expected a default case, and in default, like if nothing is matching, then you return the state as is. And then you take this one, action.type as filter pun. So this is your case 2, case filter pun, then return, then you take this, sorry, complex, and that's it. Unreachable code detected. Is it working? Yes. The other one doesn't have a, is it? I wrote one entire sentence without a. Don't believe in JS yeah, there's no a in the first one. Wow. Trivia. So this is done. To the session in office hours, handling like both. I'll take a leave, will receive after office hours. Sure, Harshit, no point, no problem. You use a switch and then use mapDispatchToProps to map all the states. No, this switch is not for that. What is it saying? So here it is. This is why you see things written in switch in Redux, but internally it's just if else, nothing else. Okay, so that's it for the search part. This is how the search is working. How much time have we already taken? Have we done 1 hour almost? Cool. So this is it. Let's try and come up with, let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, this is what you have to clean. It is, we didn't create a action, we didn't create action constant and nothing else, all of that. So that is the homework for now. What you need to do is another homework. Delete upon is done. Step 3. See, if you want to learn this, you have to go step 1, step 2 on your own with just the docs, or come and see the video again, but don't cheat. So the rules are that you go to this Tani Pratap archive and learning how to learn through a React workshop, and read this and follow this, basically the same thing how we did React workshop. Follow that thing and do it yourself, because if you don't do it yourself you will not learn. So go through the docs as much as you want, but do it yourself. Step 3 is clean everything and put things in actions, components and different folders, which we did already. This is like a live workshop creation. This was the homework before step 3, and then step 4 is create a filter. Create a filter and search, and then filter based on this. Now step 5 would be to get async data, which we will see next time. We'll do again next time. But before step 4 and step 5, there is a homework which I skipped. So what I'll do is I will pause it here as in I'll do a fork from here so that you can do the homework on your own. Okay, forked. So this is the new copy for homework, and I'll put it, go back, yes, and for homework I'll put it here. So you can do the homework on this link, and your homework is very simple, but this is very important, because if you want to be fluid with these things, you should code as much as possible. And your homework is that you go to this punfilter.jsx and you make this a proper action, you connect map state to props, map dispatch to props, you do the right thing. I have taken a shortcut. If you go to the reducer, there is no action. I have just taken a string directly. This is not the right way to do it. Do it the way I have done remove pun. That's your action, that's your homework. But if you do it yourself, you will get a lot of confidence. So the homework is to make the filter action proper, like with actions and with constants and with dispatch to props. So basically you do action creator, then you do constant, and then you do dispatch to props, map dispatch to props. So this is what you do. If you can do it, good, very good for you. If you can't do it, bad, very bad for you. So step 4 is create a filter and then filter based on it. I want to try one more thing if it works. What I want to do is, when this is happening, the filter text value, it's going away, right? So what I want to do is a reset. So if I want to do A and then I do this is not resetting, right? So what is happening is action or filter text is action dot filter text. So what's happening is, you do A, you see A, which is fine, but when you do empty, it's not coming back, which it should. But the problem with filter in this case is that it's removing, now the state doesn't have the pun list anymore, right? So the initial pun list is getting lost because we are not saving it anywhere. That's the problem with doing the manual search on the current data. Because if you come to this next time, let me show this to you also. If you come here and you do state, right? So the first time you have pun list 2 arrays, and then you do A, you have 2 arrays, because this is console.log, and after this it has came. But the moment you do this, you have only 1 now, right? So your data is lost already, like the data which was there in the initial one is lost. So how do you solve this problem? What you could do is, you can have like an initial value inside the state, and then when the filter is empty, when this action is empty, then you do it every time you do that on the initial value. So what I'm trying to say here is, your initial value is this, right? I don't know if that is the right way to do it, but if I had to do it, this is your pun store. Where is your store? Store is here. So you have a pun list, but when you are filtering, you are losing this value itself, the store initial value. So how do you do this? In this, actually you get state and action, filter reducer gives you a function, store, I don't know what it is, create store gives you reducer, preloaded state. You don't have access to it, right? So what you can do is, you can keep the filter list, and then from there you can change every time, but then it's not. Anyway, I'll think about it, how to do this, and then we'll come back to it. Like, I can think right now, but it's just wasting everyone's time here. So initially what we want to do is, we want to save the state somewhere. We can do it like this. Before returning the state, we can, if the action is filter pun, and we can say const all list, or initial list is pun list state.punList. And every time we need to do the filter, we would do it on the initial list and not the state.punList, so that the state.punList remains. Problem is, next time when it comes again, it will be here. That is the problem, that this is a pure function. So I'll think about it and I'll come back to it again in the next session. But I hope you had fun. Do your homework. Use local storage for the state would be the right way. Yeah, that. So the thing with this kind of search is, it's better to do it when you have like an external thing, but local storage isn't the right way either. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is, I will think about it and we'll come back to it, and then we'll do the next streaming session. And in the next streaming session, we will also cover how to get async data, because once you start getting all of this from async, from from say an API or any async source, basically, say socket or whatever, then you can start searching it, upvoting it, downvoting it, all of those things, and you will have a minimal search working for you. But the thing which you should really enjoy is here in your app.js. If you see, there is a pun filter and there is a pun list enhanced, and there is no props being passed to these two, right? So pun filter changes something, and the pun list changes for it. If you have to do it with just state, you have to push a prop upside and then pass it down. You can do it, no problem. But here with global state, you can do all of this very cleanly. If this is a big app, if this would have been a big app, you would appreciate it more, because then you would have like a cart, and you would have a login, so you will have different reducers for all of it. Global state helps in bigger apps, and that's why people who have bigger apps, they use Redux. So that's it. If you don't have any doubt, we will close it. We'll close the session for now, and we'll resume it after some time, or maybe tomorrow, depending on how my day looks after this. But I'll ping on the Telegram group for sure before starting another session. Cool. Bye bye. Thank you so much for joining. Let's work on the other one and stream.